Good evening and welcome to the Spirit of Motorsport TV. And have we got one hell of a show lined up for you this evening? Now, as you all know, it would have been the classic TT this week and next week. So from the 22nd till the 4th, as well as the Manx Grand Prix. And sadly, it's not happening. So what we're going to do is try and bring you as much of the event as we can on people that would have been involved in it over this next couple of weeks, live, right to your homes, right? Just as we did with the TT, we want to cover as much as the Classic and the Manx Grand Prix as we can. And this evening, we are so excited to invite a huge group of characters and some tremendous riders onto the show to talk about their experiences with our amazing event and also a little something that they're involved in. So remember, it is an interactive show, so you can send your questions our way live, and we'll do our very best to share them with our guests this evening. Now, we've got a wonderful man, Mr. Jim Hunter, joining us on the show this evening. The reason being, Jim has organised an event, a global event, to celebrate the Manx Grand Prix of 2020. Now, seeing as we can't be there, we can't be experiencing the event, what he's done with the community of people he's met over the years, 20 plus years he's been a traveling marshal, to try and bring everyone together and reconnect everyone. He's got a little mission on board now to raise money for the Manx Supporters Club and multiple charities linked to it. He's got riders from all over the world riding 37.25-mile laps or journeys wherever they are in the globe. And everybody's coming together. They're going to be covering it, sharing it on the Manx Grand Prix 2020 celebration page on Facebook. And tonight we're bringing some of those riders to you in the comfort of your own home. So Jim Hunter, what an incredible man. What an absolute legend for bringing these guys together. Here he is explaining exactly what the event is all about.
It's a beautiful day here on the Isle of Man. We're about to set off for a lap of the course for Manx Grand Prix 2020 celebration. My daughter Megan's helping me with the filming. We're going to stop off at various points and remember various people associated with the races. So stopped here at St Ninian's Crossroads by St Ninian's Church in recognition of the Reverend John Caldwell. He's a guy who really embraces and understands the road racing way of life, and what I love about John is he can always manage to find the right words, the right things to say in good times and in bad times. We stopped here at the Highlander pub to remember my granddad, Billy Golding. He loved watching the races anywhere on the course, but particularly at places where you could get a pint. So for my brother Jeff and my cousin Ian Golding, it's all my granddad's fault. It's all traceable back to him. We stopped here at Appledene to remember a young marshal, Connor Turner from Scotland. He came over with Ian Pert and the Heads Up gang to do a bit of marshalling. When I pass this point on the course, I always think about Connor, think about those young people living in difficult circumstances and how we should always do our best to support them. Okay, we stopped here at Glen Helen to remember Billy Redmayne. 2015 Thursday evening practice. Billy fell off here, ended up absolutely right here. I came along in my travelling marshal capacity, picked him up. As Billy told the story, I told Billy to man up. Billy, a guy who was recognised by the parachute regiment for his bravery, me telling him to man up, as if. I've stopped here on the approach to Alpine Cottage to remember a guy called Jamie Adam. Jamie was serving in the Royal Navy and he was on active service in Afghanistan. He got some leave and he came over to the Isle of Man to do one of our Manx Grand Prix newcomers weekends. We were stopping down at the Sulby Glen with Rosie and Eddie, Grant Wagstaff, people like that. Great. Jamie was an absolutely smashing lad. When I pass this point on the course, I always think about him. We stopped at Carrymore in recognition of somebody I've got to know in recent years called Rhys Hardesty. He achieved some fantastic results. He got a podium at the Classic TT. Last year he won a 250 race at Boulogne. One of the best racing moments for my money of 2019. But other than that, he gives us loads of help with the Manx Grand Prix newcomers. He comes into school and he talks to our students at Ninian's High School where I work as a teacher. Does assemblies, absolutely fantastic guy. And Rhys, I'm sure your dad Charles would be immensely proud of you. I'm stopped here on the approach to Governor's Bridge to remember Nigel Rollison. When I was a little lad, I used to go to a motorbike club called the Kings Norton Motorcycle Club, and Nigel was a big part of that. He's famous, of course, for being the only person to win races on 2 wheels, the Senior Manx Grand Prix, and 3 wheels, the Sidecar TT. And when I first came over to ride on the mountain course in 1986, I remember asking Nigel for a piece of advice. I asked him which part of the course should I be particularly cautious on. And he said to me, the twisty bit between Quarter Bridge and Governor's Bridge. Well, we've had a fantastic lap of the course. Thank you to Megan for helping me with the filming. We stopped off at Danny's Burgers in Ramsey and had a lovely bacon sandwich. Road racing, sometimes you love it, sometimes you hate it, but for sure 2020 we really missed the Manx Grand Prix. Thank you for everybody that's helped us out with the Manx Grand Prix 2020 celebration all around the world, and we can't wait to see you all next year.
Jim, love it. Welcome to the studio. Thanks so much for coming back.
Thanks, Hailey. It's wonderful. Thanks for the invite. Thank you.
Of course, of course. As soon as we heard about this celebration, I thought it was so incredible. It's such a huge effort on your part to bring everybody together. I think it's something to really be proud of.
Well, I'm delighted by the support that the event's been given. It just started out as a little idea, and then I posted something on Facebook. The 50, 60 people wanting to take part. And that's grown now into over 400 people who are all doing laps, as you said, all around the world. Australia and several people, Paul Phillips, several, Bill Blythe in America, lots of people in Northern Ireland supporting us. And I think it's been really great because we've had the opportunity to think about people associated with the event that we think about all the time, but we think about them particularly at this time of year. And it's been great as well because people have had the chance to say thank you to some people who put loads of effort into the event. I know you have Barry Wood on your shows, and the number of people that have mailed in and say, I'd like to say a thank you to Barry Wood by doing 37 miles of the course. And Wyn Evans, rider welfare officer, so Charlotte Pullen wrote something really lovely about how supportive she was when she needed a bit of help. And Scott Richardson, who had an accident on the course, and there's people that just want to say thank you to other people associated with the event that have been that received help from. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Now with racing, have you got a taste for racing, or you can't help but love watching all sorts of racing, but when you've lived on the Isle of Man, you've experienced the Manx Grand Prix, the TT, and you've been and lived around it, there's nothing like it, is there?
No, I think that's right. I love football, and there's lots of sports that I love, and within those sports there's always a camaraderie, but within motorbike racing, I think that camaraderie is, I'm trying to be impartial here, but I think it's really, really very, very strong. Maybe it's because when you're part of the biking paddock, you experience so many different things. You sort of see the real highs and the best moments of the sport, and then things go wrong, and you see you have difficult times, and it's just the height of the peaks and the depth of the troughs, I think, and it just sort of brings you all together. So when I got Roger and Nathan and myself and Nathan's girlfriend Machine sat here in the Hailwood Centre, the Hailwood Cafe at the start line. It's Friday night, should be packed full of bikes. There's nobody here. We're really, really missing these people. So I think the idea of the celebration was just to share a few memories and a few thoughts. And like I said, I've been delighted with the amount of support that's received.
Brilliant. I just wish I was sat there with you. I can smell that cafe. It's got that. It's just it takes you right back, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a lovely evening now. We haven't had the best of weather. When I did that lap that you just showed there, that was Tuesday, and that was probably the best day we've had. But the weather's clearing up nicely now, and it's apparently
Wi-Fi.
weather. people can get out on their bikes.
Good. Jim, I'm just going to share some comments we've got here. We've got lots of people that are joining us now and commenting and saying hello from Cheshire, from Bedford, also Richmond, Donegal. And we've got the great Roy Moore as well. He's here. He's delighted to see the Manx Grand Prix trophies. Silverware behind you.
That's absolutely priceless. I mean, this is they're such wonderful trophies, and they spend sort of the vast majority of the year locked away in a safe. So it's really nice to get them out, especially as we've got Nathan here, and who won the biggest trophy there is the Senior Manx Grand Prix trophy. And that's the one Nathan won last year, as well as the junior. And we've also got, I think you're going to have a chat with Roger Sutcliffe in a minute, who was going to be our guest of honour at the 2020 event, because it's 50 years since he won the Senior Manx Grand Prix trophy. So it's really nice to have two Manxmen with the trophy that they won. So that was the idea. And of course, we also have Caroline Sells, who won this trophy here. And Lancelot Unisart in France, who's going to be on in a minute, he won that same trophy as well.
Incredible. We've got John Koshierski saying hello, and he's honoured to be a part of this too, Jim Hunter. He's a big fan of the show.
Well, I know John was really keen to remember, let me think now, oh gosh, his name's just slipped my mind at the moment, which is terrible. Sorry, I do apologise, Daly Matheson. And Daly Matheson was a rider associated with the TT, but like lots of TT riders, Daly started his mountain course career at the Manx Grand Prix, and we're always keen for riders to come and get to grips with mountain course at the Manx Grand Prix, hopefully achieve some success, and then go on to the TT afterwards. That's So thanks to John in the USA for his support. I understand he's recovering from an operation, so I hope that's going well, John.
He is. Apparently he is recovering well. So thanks, John, for your comments. Great. So, Jim, this is an absolute honour to really be supporting you on this. And we're hoping to bring everyone's together in coverage of their ride so we can create a short film with you. Yeah. So we can't wait to create that for you and everybody that's committing to it.
Well, I've already received a couple of fantastic clips. The one that springs to mind is the one from Jays Lewis in North Wales. And he wanted to remember his uncle Len, who rode in a 1957-1958 Manx Grand Prix. And apparently his uncle used to go out on a little 5 or 6 mile lap of North Wales early in the morning on his bike. And he got into trouble with the police one morning. I won't spoil the story, but it's captured it all on video. It's a tremendous thing.
Great.
But again, that's one of the things I've loved about putting this together. You've got some just super stories about people who helped out their friends in the past, sons remembering their dads and everything. It's just been really tremendous. Really enjoyed it. Can I just say another special mention for a guy called Steve Horn, who's out on a boat in the Mediterranean at the moment, and he wanted to remember his friend, as indeed his other from very proud Scots, Steve Horn, Mark Ironside, wanted to remember their friend Adam Lyon. And Steve said, I can't send you a video. I'm out on a boat. He's on a boat in the Mediterranean, and there's a treadmill on the boat, and he's run the equivalent of 2 laps on the treadmill.
Wow!
So I don't know whether Steve's watching this or not. I don't think he will be, because the internet connection is so poor. But it's just fantastic effort. Brilliant. Yeah.
Fantastic. Great. I've just got a quick question for you, Jim, before we invite Nathan into the studio.
Yeah, of course.
From Philip Fireblade Phil Nelms. He says, can you please ask Jim, would he like his daughter to race?
Well, my daughter Megan, she said she's watching this live from the Tynwald pub where she's doing some barmaid work, and she's just about to go off to university to start her BSc Sports Science degree. Yeah, that would be really difficult, wouldn't it? My son Jax competed in the TT and Manx Grand Prix. That was bad enough, but yeah, I would really hope that one day they'd all have bikes. It's a sort of family tradition for us. But I couldn't actually say that I'd be delighted if they ended up as racing on the mountain course.
Well, she did a great job with the video anyway. She's definitely on the creative side for sure. So we've got Steve Horn. We've got a great picture here.
Oh yeah, that's him.
Brilliant.
That's him on his treadmill there. Yeah, he did the equivalent of 2 laps running on that. And like I say, he didn't tell me exactly where, but I know he's in the Mediterranean somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good on him. I love
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
So just to recap though, Jims, most of the riders are doing it in honor of someone, right? Or in tribute to somebody.
Well, it's a sort of 50-50. Yeah, it's a sort of 50-50 split, really. There's a lot of people who do want to remember folk, but there's also like lots and lots of thank yous. And people want to just thank friends or and let's like, for example, Brett Gates, who's a really good friend of mine and a past travelling marshal. Brett wanted to acknowledge the work that Dr. David Stevens has done for the event and keeping all the hog ambulance going. And without David, things just wouldn't be the same. And that was wonderful of Brett to do that. And I've also had people who wanted to remember the Hogg family. Phil Hogg's mom, Sheila, Alec, and Phil's brother Sean, all part of the Hogg family. That over the course of the last 30 years, they've done so much fundraising to provide first aid backup and resources, ambulances that are all out on the course. So a number of people have said, I just want to say thank you to the Hogg family. It's a sort of opportunity to remember, also an opportunity to say thank you. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And so, okay, Mr. Nathan Harrison. Oh, it's a shame we're not going to be seeing him. Bear with us, everybody. A bit of a shift in the Wi-Fi there. Hey, Nathan.
Hello, you're right.
Yeah, great.
Right.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
That's fine.
We've stolen you away from your lovely lady. Apologies. We won't be long. We won't keep you for long. Nathan, it's a bloody shame that we're not going to see you out racing this year, because what a year you had last year. So it was 2 races you took in the end. It was a little bit of some challenges along the way before you actually took the wins. So tell us a little bit about your Manx Grand Prix from last year. Incredible results.
Like you say, I've built up throughout the practice week. I never rush into things, so all the way through practice we just built up slowly, and then finally got to like 120 in practice, and I knew I was in a good place for the race then. But then in my life, I didn't tend to make things easy for myself. So in the junior, I was leading, and I went into the pits and got a 30-second penalty, even though all the boys in the pit stop were shouting me, hit the pit limiter, but I was too interested in the people in front of me. So end up missing the pit limiter and then having to make up, I think it was about 20 seconds in the end to catch back the win, and I ended up winning it by 3 seconds. So I don't like making things easy for myself, but it makes things more exciting, doesn't it? It makes the win feel better. And then in the senior race, I was happy with what I'd done already. I'd run my Manx Grand Prix and I'd done 120 in the race. So I was going to go out and enjoy myself for 4 laps in the senior. And then I got a board after like 2 laps coming out of Ballath, and then it said P2 + 8. And I thought, well, I've been going around, I might as well give it a good go now and try and get both of them. And then I come around the next lap after the pits, and it said P1 plus what have you. I can't remember exactly what it was. And then on my dash on the last lap, it was like saying, -5 in like certain sectors. So I was like, I want to try and might as well get a good lap now, and it'll get me a good start number for the TT. So that's what I did, and ended up coming away with 122, and the big win and the little win as well.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So it's amazing to see a Manxman on a bike and doing a check. Look at that shot right there. Brilliant.
It's good.
Excellent. Yeah. So, I mean, you can't race this year, obviously, for the Manx Grand Prix or even the TT. Well, you are there, so you can still be going out riding. You can still be tuning into the track, can't you? You can still be getting out on your bike.
Well, funny enough, I don't actually have a road license, so I can't actually ride the road bike. So I go around in my van and what have you, and do laps that way. And it's good, like you say, most of the time I'm driving either to work. Every morning I've got to go past the grandstand to work, so I can go around it that way. But I don't actually have a road bike license, so but we managed to get out on my bike testing up at Derby and what have you, getting some miles in. But no, I've not actually been able to race, unfortunately.
And you've got quite the family is kind of involved just a little bit, aren't they?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. It's a proper, our little team's like a proper family effort, to be honest. got my mum and dad. My dad started off racing, and it seems I knew about him racing since I was like 4 years old. I always wanted to get a bike, and then got a motocross bike at the age of 4, I think it was, and then racing at 5, and then all the way through that way. Then my brother did the Manx Grand Prix. We were both in the Tommy Club, so I think we're the only brothers to be in the Tommy Club as well. But yeah, like it's a whole like family effort. Me and my mum, my dad, and brother, and like you say, it's always been in our family. I don't think it's getting out anytime soon either.
Good. So we've got some great comments. Love the Manx Grand Prix and saying hello. Lots of people from all over the place watching and tuning in. Remember, guys, this is interactive, so you can fire your questions at Nathan or the wonderful Mr. Sutcliffe, who will be joining us very soon. So, so Nathan, just a couple more questions for you. We've got to mention over 10 million hits on the YouTube video.
Oh yeah, that was insane. That was part of my recovery coming back from my pit lane speed penalty. I knew if I didn't get past them soon, I was never going to win the race. So it was good. Like you say, I was speaking to Jim about that the other day. I said I couldn't believe how many hits. It's like you say, 10 million views. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? It's
incredible, absolutely incredible. And I can't, it's just going to keep getting higher and higher and higher, isn't it? So the thing is, once you watch it, it's so addictive. And some of the comments that we've spotted on there. Have you read any of the comments on the video?
Oh yeah, I've seen some of them. Some things about I've seen some. I was reading the other night actually. It was making me laugh.
TT stands for titanium testicles.
That's the one
Brilliant. And what was the one about? This is my wife, as soon as the nail salons opened after COVID. I like that on the way to the nail salon. So what's next for you then, Nathan? So obviously this year is there's quite a few restrictions in place, so not quite the racing year that you would have hoped for. What is next for you for the rest of the year?
So I've got a new Fireblade on order. That should be here soon. It's looking like the bike to have in the 1,000 class in BSB with like the Owens and what have you dominating on them. So I've got that there. I've got my 2600 Hondas for next year, and I've also got a couple of classic bikes. So for the classic TT. So as soon as I can I'm hoping if the quarantine restrictions go down to 7 days in the Isle of Man, I can hopefully go away and maybe get a couple of BSBs in or something like that and get ready for the next year if there is something. And like you say, just get some race time more than anything. And like you say, next year will be like the full program if everything goes ahead with like the Northwest TT, 700, classic TT, and what have you. And I'll support the Manx Grand Prix wherever I can. Like you say, they've done me good to get where I've got to now.
Amazing. Well, we can't wait to see you back on the bike. But before we hand it over to the wonderful Mr. Sutcliffe, we're going to have to show some of that video if you don't mind.
That's fine.
Yeah, let's bring it up. Our great producer, Aid, is going to share it with us. So you've got the 3 riders in the original shot. So it's the first shot as it opens up. There's 3 of you, isn't there? There's
I know there's Andy Carroll there. I can't remember the other.
Stephen Proctor.
Stephen Proctor.
Yeah. Stephen Proctor. We might have some technical issues coming up there. But you are riding, Nathan. So you're going to be doing this celebration as well.
Yeah.
And in honour of...
Yeah.
the great Mr. Sutcliffe. Good evening to you.
Oh, good evening, yeah.
How are you, Roger? You okay?
Yeah, but not bad for that old one.
There we go. Check that out. Oh, technical issues. So, Roger, you would have been celebrating, was it 50 years since your win in the senior this year, right?
Yeah.
So there would have been a nice celebration. 50 years. I mean, how much has our great event changed over those years?
Oh, a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The riders got a lot younger. If you look at the feeds now compared to Nathan, you think we were on push bikes.
Oh, very good. So you moved to the island, right? So how many years have you been on the island now?
51.
51 years, incredible. So did you move because of the race? Did you
do a job for somebody and forgot to go home? That's what I did. I came to do a job for a motorcycle dealer in the village where I live, Horsforth, and he bought a bungalow over here, out in the countryside, near Handley's Corner, and we came over to put central heating in it and refurbed the general plumbing in it. And then we obviously had a wander around when I'd done, so we were just here for 2 weeks. And then I thought, oh, it's a nice place, this. Although I had been here for the Manx Grand Prix in 67 and 68. And then, as I say, we came on New Year's Day in 69 to do this job. And as I say, we more or less stayed in a way. Yeah.
Wow. And you're quite famous. You were a traveling marshal for many years, so you're quite famous for passing a few bikes when they were out racing. Is that right? Famous little story when you're on traveling marshal duties.
I'm not going fast, they were going slow.
Fair enough. And also for you then, Roger, so it runs in the family. Ralph won the 1986 lightweight Manx Grand Prix, right? He is, so it's running. So do you still manage to get out on the bike at all?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a time speed triple.
Fantastic. So are you retired now?
Well and truly.
Well and truly. Yeah. Still causing trouble though. Yeah. Brilliant. So what's the biggest thing that you're missing? Obviously, you're not going to be able to be at the racing this year, but it's such a shame. The atmosphere is missing over there. The racing's missing.
Well, that's what it's all about, the atmosphere, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
People come into the Manx Grand Prix and the TT, obviously. They'll just go year after year after year. It's just part of the life. And they just talk about it all year long, and the dismal dark days in the winter, and then looking forward to coming again each year. And unfortunately, that's all been knocked on the head this year, which has made a big difference to a lot of people's lives. It's strange, but yeah, it's a big lot bigger than people realise as a TT. It doesn't matter where you go in the world, and you talk to somebody, it could be in a club or anything, and you might have a TT T-shirt on, for instance, and there's always somebody who'll come talking to you about it. General talk that people have heard of the TT. No matter where you go, it's definitely a big thing for the Isle of Man.
How could you not love it and know it and love it? Hey, so are you still involved with the marshalling now, or are you retired from that as well? Are you chilling and watching from the sideline?
Last time I marshalled it was probably about 4 or 5 years ago, probably.
Okay.
6 probably. And yeah, it's good. I enjoyed the marshalling. Because after I packed in the travelling marshalling, I came back and did a bit of roadside marshalling with the boys. It's nice to help and everything, but now I'm a bit too old for that game.
Never too old. Stop that chat. So where's your favourite spot, Roger, to watch the race now that you can just chill and relax? Where do you like to go and watch it?
There's so many of them. I mean, top of Bagara for one is a good spot to watch. It's exciting through there. Obviously the Conker Fields, as they now call it, on the Lazaire Road. So you name it. I mean, there's nowhere on the TT course where you say anything. Oh, it's a rough spot. Is this? I'm not coming here again. Never one of them. It's from Sulby Straight, which is fast, like Not that I want to go there personally, but I mean, it's still a good. Someone who was travelling marsh like to go and observe something. So it's things like that,
Great.
Just definitely part of people's lives. I mean, it's unbelievable. But as far as you say, as vantage points, every point on the TT course is a vantage point.
Love that. Agreed. I totally agree. Now, Nathan, I know we have to let you go off into your evening. Just before you do, we've got a couple of questions for you, if that's all right, before we let you go.
Yeah.
We have John Koshersky is asking, what's your favourite section of the course?
Oh, that's tough. I like it from the grandstand to Glen Helen, and I also like it from Ramsey to probably about Hilbury, to be honest. They're probably two of my biggest, like my favourite sections. I think last year I seemed to be pretty fast over the mountain every time. So, like you say, I love that in the van as well. So, I'd probably say the mountain, to be honest.
Brilliant. Great. And we also have, will you be getting your bike license now from Bernard Sewell? Your road license?
It still doesn't interest me really, because
yeah,
like you say, unless it was for something like, I don't know, going off in doing enduros or something like that. But with my leg and stuff from my injuries, I don't do things like that anyway. So it doesn't really interest me, because you can't really do things like you'd want to do like when you're on a bike normally. When you've been racing, you race around the TT course when it's closed. It's when you got a road license and you got cars and everything. It's not the same. So I probably won't, to be honest, unless, like you say, it was for something like when I retire maybe or something like that. But I don't think I can see that for a good amount of years yet, unless something goes wrong.
So tell us a little bit before you do leave why you are riding for Roger, because I know.
Well, I'm riding for Roger because it's been 50 years since he would have been the guest this year, and you can call him Manxman now as well. He's been here that long, so yeah for a fellow Manxman, so it fits well, doesn't it?
He's not picked the accent up yet, though, has he? Yes, all right, bye. Oh, great. Brilliant. Nathan, listen, thank you so much. We're going to just show we've managed to get a bit of the clip now. If the tech issues are over and done with. Here we go. Now this is great. Over 10 million views.
Hitting the checkout button there.
It's just incredible. You could never get bored watching. No wonder it's had over 10 million views, because I bet people have just been play, go back to the beginning, play again, play again.
Because of COVID and stuff, like it's a year ago today that happened, that exact video. So, and it's crazy, really, after everything that's been going on, isn't it? So, like you say, in COVID, I probably watched that about 1,000 times. my dad sits and watches Manx Grand Prix videos all the
time. Brilliant. Great, Nathan. Listen, I'm going to let you get back to your lovely lady. Have a great evening and look forward to seeing what the future holds for you. And we hope to invite you back on the show sometime soon.
Yeah,
thanks again for your time. Yeah, and Roger, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time as well. It's wonderful to have you on here. And take care of yourself. And we'll see you soon.
See you later.
Take care, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, so we have a couple more guests to invite into the studio. We will be coming back to Jim with the trophies as well, just in a little while. But next we have two amazing ladies joining us. And I believe they might be in the pub. So we have Carolyn, welcome. Oh, you're on mute, Carolyn.
You're on mute.
Perfect. Hi. Cool. There we go. Hey, Carolyn, thank you so much for coming back into the studio. Hi. Welcome. You're in the Crosby, I believe.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay. Have you got yourself a little tipple?
I have. Yes. There you go.
Very good.
Chin.
Cheers to that. Very good. So, Carolyn, in 2009, it's such an honor to have you on here as a female who's a huge fan of the event. Now, you were the first lady ever to win a solo on the mountain course. So, incredible achievement. So it's an honor to have you on here. Tell us a bit about that day and what it meant to you, being a Manx lady, winning on such an incredible course.
Thank you. Yeah, it's something I worked hard for, to be honest. I first raced at the Manx in 2003, and I actually finished fourth in the newcomers race. I wanted to get a podium and I just missed out. So after that, I thought, just wanted to get my head down, and it's something I worked towards for a few years. And in 2009, I did it. But yeah, it was an amazing feeling. I led the race I finished just over a minute ahead of everybody else, so 62 seconds. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, very pleased.
Awesome. Love it. So it's in your family as well, isn't it, Carolyn? So it comes from, oh, no, look at that shot. Craig Nabar. Look at you looking stunning.
That's the classic.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, that's Tony. I love that photo. Yeah,
great.
And that was me with the Leslie Ann trophy, which, yeah, that's the best performance by a female competitor. Won that 4 times. So, yeah.
Incredible.
Shame I didn't
So
get to keep it.
Dad used to race vintage in the vintage classes, is that right? And he was involved in the Manx Grand Prix as well?
Yeah, he started out on the classic bikes in 1985 with a BSA B50, I think it was, that he first came here with. And then he actually moved on to the 250s. So he was racing in the lightweight at the same time as I was racing in the ultra lightweight. So, yeah, he was out on the circuit with me quite a few times. So, and my little brother raced the Manx. He was, we both did the newcomers the same year in 2003. So, yeah, nail biting time for mum and dad.
Ooh. But it was quite a special moment for your dad to be seeing both of you racing, though. I know, obviously, a little bit nerve-wracking, but it must have been really special.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah. He saw me out on the circuit a few times, so he knew I was safe enough.
Yeah, great. Fab. So we've got some people interacting here and questions. We've got Gail Core saying, lol, Carolyn, enjoy your pint, missus. I love that.
Thank you.
Oh,
cheers, Gail.
So, Carolyn, what's your favourite section of the course then? If we go back to, so you live there, you know the course so well. Is there any favourite section where you like to watch and also that you like to ride? What would they be?
Oh, so hard to say, to be honest. My favourite section is probably from Braddon Bridge to Cronkamona. I don't like the other bit. I don't like signposts or governors, and I don't like Quarterbridge, but the rest of it I love, and I like it all for different reasons. You know, I like the fast flowing stuff though. I like Glen Helen, and towards the end of my racing career, I really got to enjoy the mountain. So, yeah, the mountain takes a long time to learn. So, yeah.
And what have you found as a female rider the most challenging thing about racing? So motor racing, racing on the island, racing on the Manx Grand Prix track, and just generally being involved in the community?
Nothing really. You know, I never. It's a funny one. I didn't consider myself any different to anybody else, to be honest. We put the visor down, and I'm just the same as everybody else out there. So, you know, that wasn't a big deal to me, really.
Great, love that, love it. So with the Manx Grand Prix celebration, then you're taking part. You're joining everybody on the challenge.
Yeah, I am. I'm doing my lap in memory of my ex-teammate who was killed about 8 weeks before I won at the Manx, unfortunately, and doing it for him and his wife Sharon, who is a lovely lady and one of my friends.
Fab. And it's a great shot.
And yeah. That's him, and that's Trevor Ferguson next to him, I think.
Brilliant. And when are you doing yours, Carolyn?
Oh, I don't know. I've got 3 kids off school at the moment. So unless I take them for a flying lap in the Zafira, I don't know. They do like to go quite fast. So I've been offered a bike. I don't know what I'm going to do. I will do it at some point. I'll probably wait until the kids are back at school because it's just a bit hectic at the moment. So.
Okay, we have to send you footage in, so we're going to create a short film for you all. So everyone that's doing it in honor of the celebration, we're going to create a short film with all your footage of before you go and do your lap, during, and then after, and how it felt and what it meant for you to be a part of. So make sure you send us some pictures in if you have any. We'd love to see them.
Right. Okay.
I've got Bernard Sewell here. Got a comment for you, Carolyn. You you must have great memories racing with your dad on the track. How scary is that, and how do you get past the family issue with this?
Do you know what? Do you know, again, even with Dad, you know, I'd see him. I passed him a few times. I passed him in the race that I won, actually. He was up on the mountain, and I passed him at Bungalow Bridge. And I always give him a little wave, you know, just a little hand off the bars and give him a wave. But again, it's just somebody else out on the circuit, really. You don't think about it too much, because, you know, if I was worrying about him, then I wouldn't be concentrating on what I was doing. So it was always nice to see him and just give him a little thumbs up or a little wave. So yeah. Although I don't think he was too happy about the year before, when I crashed at the Bungalow just before I'd passed him. I passed him, and then I crashed at the Bungalow, and he came through and saw all the skid marks and everything, and kind of worked out it was me. So I don't think he was too impressed that time.
His poor heart. We've got Kurt Harmer here as well. Says hi, Carolyn from the Harmers in Ballymoney.
Hi.
And then we have Love You, Carolyn Sells from Sharon Neal as well.
Oh, love you, Sharon.
Great, brilliant. Carolyn, listen, it's an honour to have you on here, and hopefully we'll get you on the show again, and we'll have to bring all you lovely ladies together and maybe do a special on all the women in the sport and racing over there. That'd be great.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
You too, and enjoy your pint. If I can,
no problem.
Cheers. Yes, please. That'd be great. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Enjoy the celebration. Thanks.
Hi there.
Helen Rivers, how are we?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks so much for joining us. Chief Sector Marshal. It's great to see another lady on here joining us and joining the celebration as well. So tell us why you wanted to be a part of it.
So I guess you could say, addicted to marshalling. I've been doing it for such a long time, I can't not do it. So I wanted to kind of put back to the guys at Marshall, for me particularly. So I look after Sector 2. There's 12 sectors on the course, both TT and the Manx Grand Prix and the Classics. So we have numerous people that come along to Marshall every year in, year out, new people, and some that just come every year without fail and marshal at the same post. So just wanted to say thank you to those guys. Oh, look, some selfies. Yeah, so that's at the Crossroads in Crosby, just down the road from where we are now. Yeah, great gang of people. Meet so many different types of people as well from all over the world. So it's a real pleasure and honour. Obviously, we're there to do a job. So yeah, first and
foremost. Really, it's a family. It's a family of marshals, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And even though we're Sector 2, obviously there's other sectors that we, as Chief Sector Marshals, get to meet regularly and have conversations about marshalling or just social chit chat. And yeah, it's good to get to know everybody. And even the spectators, you know, we have to speak to them regularly when they get lost, when they want to find the best spot to watch. So yeah, it's sort of a varied role.
And how did you get into it, Helen?
So I live in Crosby on the TT course, and apart from a little stint in Douglas when I was in my 20s, I'm back here now. So I grew up with it. My dad marshalled as well. So when I was 16, I was like, I want to do that, please. I probably didn't really know what it was all about at that time. But at the end of the day, I'm still here now, still doing it 30 years later. So
wow.
I know,
love it.
So yeah.
Well, I have to mention, Jim Hunter said that you are the young face of the marshals. That's how he did right.
That's saying something. So yeah, so that picture there is the guys that do they do the paramedic car in TT, and they always pop down and give me some goodies. So I bought a chocolate that time.
Brilliant. So if anybody wanted to sign up or even find out and becoming a marshal, what would they need to do?
So they've got their own website, so iomttma.com, and you can contact them via email or via the telephone, I believe. Some great people in there now, really well-run organisation. And personally for me, I've obviously been in it a long time, so I've seen so many changes for the better. And they can, I think you need to understand you don't need to do the whole 2 weeks, so you can just do a couple of sessions if you want, or you could do the whole 2 weeks, or you could just do a week. It doesn't really matter, but we do rely heavily on local knowledge, local marshals, but also from people coming from across. Even I think if I remember some of the TTs, I've had people from Australia, New Zealand, Germany, America, and we still keep in contact via social media, and it's just great. And and no new marshal will be put in a place that they feel uncomfortable. They'll always be with someone experienced. So and that's what we try to do each and every time, and make sure that everyone's comfortable where they're going to be, where they're going to watch it from. Do they understand what their responsibilities are?
Great. Brilliant. It's just whenever I make my way out, or I love going on little missions by myself around the track when the races are out and getting chatting. I love chatting to the marshals whenever I can get with any of them anyway. It's always just so open and humorous and just really, really lovely. And there's always some fantastic stories to tell as well. I love it.
I sometimes wonder whether they should write a book about it, like all the stories together. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. So, Helen, you're not just going around the course for this celebration in a car or on a motorbike. You're going on an e-bike. Is that right?
I feel like I'm cheapling on an e-bike, but hey, I don't own a motorbike, so for me, it makes sense to do it on a bike. And I purchased an e-bike just after we came out of lockdown here, more so because I'm getting a bit older and I need to do a little bit more exercise. But if I just got a normal bike, I don't think I'd be going out on it. But with an e-bike, it kind of puts a smile on my face. So yeah, I'm hoping 37 3/4 miles won't be too hard. Fingers crossed.
I'll cross everything for you. Get a toe maybe on the back of a car, possibly.
I know, that's it.
So I just want to share a couple of comments, Helen, that's all right, before we say our goodbyes to you.
Okay.
Great Clutterbuck says, Helen, please double up on the cakes next year.
So he's brilliant. He marshals down at a place called Rock Farm, which is kind of in the middle of nowhere. But him and his son are just top banana. They're just great. But I've got him sorted out for cake. Don't worry.
And then Sue Russell says, hi, Sector 2, White House Sector 6 here. Brilliant.
Oh, lovely, Sue. Thank you. Hi to you guys as well.
So, Helen, best of luck then with your e-bike mission. It's nice to see another lady involved in the celebration. Thanks for all that you do, and we look forward to having you back on the show, hopefully in the not too distant future, and also being with you guys again for the Manx Grand Prix next year and the TT.
Brilliant. Brilliant, Hayley. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Enjoy your pie. Okay, bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Oh, wonderful. Jim, incredible women, incredible guests so far. Thank you so much.
Well, wasn't that a super conversation?
No, yeah.
You can just see that how much she enjoys being part of that. She's just doing a fantastic job down there. So I'm sure I speak on behalf of all the riders and saying, thanks to all the marshals. As the old saying, no marshals, no racing. But what a fantastic thing to be involved in as well.
Absolutely. So, Jim, we've got some more guests that you invited, some more involved in the celebration. So we have Lesro, and we have Maggio, if he is there. I know he's been having some Wi-Fi issues from Italy, so hopefully all is going to be okay. And then we have Lancelot as well.
Hey, good old Lancelot.
Hello.
How are we? Hello, Lancelot. So Lancelot, 2019 ultra lightweight winner in the Manx Grand Prix. Welcome into the studio.
Thank you.
I know you've been going to the island for over 10 years, I believe.
What? Just about 10 years now.
Okay. Oh, what a shame.
Would have been the 10th.
Would have been the 10th. And Les, welcome.
Good morning, Hailey. Jim, how are you?
Gosh, it's so early. Look at that clock.
Are we there?
3:25 a.m., Les, is that right?
Yep, 3:25 in the morning here in Adelaide.
Thank you so much for staying up.
That was a pleasure.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. So, Lancelot, what a shame that you're not going to be here racing. Hey, how are you feeling about not getting over this year? Obviously, our hearts are very heavy. Yeah,
it's a bit difficult. Been going every year on. I've actually kept the holidays, so I'm actually off now. It's just difficult not to be over, but it's the same for everybody. We've been quite lucky as well we've been back racing beginning of the month. I've already done 2 races, got one coming next weekend, couple of weekends. So yeah, it's good to be on a bike and give me more time to get used to the new bike.
Good mindset. I like that. So tell me, Lancelot, how did you become aware of the Manx Grand Prix and even involved in it as well?
Manx Grand Prix, I don't know, probably one of the first thing about the Isle of Man in general was, I think, my first season when I was about 12 years old, and some guy asked to the panel of young guys racing, what do you want to do next? And some were saying Superbike or MotoGP, and I remember with a friend, we said we want to race the TT. So that was the beginning of the thing. I've had a couple of French guys I know that raced the TT, and first time I came was my stepfather did the classic. Well, was the Manx Grand Prix Classic 350 in 2011. That he has been helped by Jim quite a lot. So yeah, and my mum came along, and so I came for practice week, and that was it. I wanted to come back.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
And tell us a bit about, you showed us a frame just earlier before we came.
Yeah, I haven't got it, but yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
Put it back here. Yeah, my girlfriend did a frame with pictures from all the bike I raced last year. With probably most of the picture are from the victory.
Brilliant. So last year in 2019, you were involved in. Oh, there you are. There he is. Fantastic. Tell us how it feels to be up there, Lancelot.
Can't really explain. It's just probably the best feeling in the world. I mean, in racing this track is just something you can't explain. So being on top step, just madness. I've been on the podium my first year. I've actually missed the victory because of the tank. Was a 3-lap race and I had a standard tank that could only do 2 laps. And the other guy, James Caswell-Cox, did the bigger tank overnight and won the race. So I knew I had to do it. And this year, last year actually, came back with a bigger tank and won the race. So yeah, that's a good thing. Ticked.
Love it. So last year you were involved in an incident. So it's a track where many riders can be involved in a few hairy moments. Did you have any doubt in your mind coming back and getting back on the bike again? Was there any doubt there? Or was it just get on with it and get back on it?
Well, I've been two phases, I can say. I mean, getting back on the bike wasn't hard. I mean, I knew I wanted to do it, but the difficult thing was, laying on the track. I mean, when I was, that's incident is a proper word, because I didn't crash properly. That was quite fortunate. So, but yeah, someone crashed in front, and we were like in a lane, four bikes or something, and with the braking, I couldn't miss the guy in front and smashed into him. So we ended on the floor, and when I just stand up, I thought that's wrong. Shouldn't be there. Roads empty and bikes coming towards me and things. So it's just a weird feeling. And that time, for probably half an hour, I thought about it, and I thought maybe I shouldn't try again. But yeah, the feeling of racing is stronger. Hopefully, I was with Jim as well. He's always in the good things. So yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it was just, yeah, the feeling was a bit weird, but yeah,
I love how you said you only thought about it for half an hour.
Yeah, it's probably the thing. Afterwards, the bike, bike had to be fixed, and yeah, otherwise you just stop. But you know, I mean, racing on a racetrack is already something great, because you can like touch the limit of the bikes. The art of mine is another level. You may not push as hard as on track because you're not really allowed to crash, but you can actually go at speed that you don't do on a racetrack, on a short track, and I think most of the guys, if they're not racing the TT, I mean the mountain course, they would be doing it on the road, and that's wrong. So if I stop up probably and on the road and doing wrong things too fast, so that is the good side.
And Jim, for you now, you've been doing this for so many years, and you've obviously got a great bond with Lancelot. You're taking part in the celebration, and who are you riding for, Lancelot? Are you doing the ride for?
Well, I've got plenty of sponsors. Basically, I mean, I've only brought my own bike for the last 2 years, which was the 750 classic superbike. Before that, and I mean the race I won was on Danny Pullen VFR 400, old trusty bike. It's been built for me in 2014, 6 years ago, and never missed a bit. So yeah, it's a great little bike, and I've got a couple of other sponsors. Yeah, I had Bob Light in the 350 class. And maybe we will switch to this one, which is one of my main sponsors in terms of bike and worth of the bike is Patrick Godet, which let me ride his Vincent over the mountain course, and that was great. That was it's just massive feeling.
Fantastic. So, where in the world will you be doing it? In France, right? You'll be doing your lap, your celebration.
Yeah, I've been doing it in France, in the not the suburbs, but in anyway, in the lands in France, near Nantes, in Anjou. That's basically my training. I would say training place on the bicycle. So I couldn't really do it on any other thing really. I wouldn't do it on a car, and I don't have a road bike at the moment. So yeah, went on the bicycle and rode the mileage.
Lancelot, brilliant. Jim, you've just got people all over the world, haven't you, enjoying this celebration and contributing, including.
What I particularly loved about the lap that Lancelot did is I noticed on his GPS tracker it was 60 point something kilometers. So I typed that into Google and asked it to convert it to miles for me, and it came up exactly 7.75. I thought, wow, that's really smart.
that is the exact, and that I could hardly do it perfectly, but yeah, I did. I think there is a miss of about 200 meters or something through the loop, so it's just smashing.
Brilliant. So talking about people and taking part in a celebration around the world, Les, hello to you. So what part of Australia are you joining us from?
We're in Adelaide in South Australia. So young Royce and myself are doing our lap next week in the Adelaide Hills. The Adelaide Hills surround Adelaide, some of the best motorcycling roads in the world. After the Isle of Man, we come second, I think.
I like that, Les.
So looking forward to that.
Good stuff. And what day are you doing it on?
We look like doing it on Tuesday. So we're in winter at the moment, so we've got to pick the right day. So that's looking to be about 22, 25 degrees. So that should be perfect weather, I think, for the ride through the hills.
Fantastic. So great row racing clock behind you there as well. Looks absolutely stunning.
Oh, thank you. Yep. No, we've been running row racing for, probably 12, 13 years with Royce. So I suppose it went back a bit before then, but Royce was started racing at about age 12 in road racing juniors. So we've been around Australia a fair bit, long distances to travel, but all been good fun.
And how is it for you being so far away, but organising, being part of an event on the other side of the world? Logistically, how much of a mission is that for you? Is it?
It's a huge logistics issue, that's for sure. We've got to get the bikes over and the parts and the spares and tools, the crew. We usually have about 12 of us come over when we go over to the Isle of Man. So organising all of that from the other side of the globe it is a bit of work, but it's absolutely worth it. It's something we just look forward to all the time. It's a fantastic place to get to. So we'll do anything to get there.
Love that. And we've got John Kosierski saying here, Les, I hope Royce is doing well. How is he doing at the moment?
He's doing very well. Very serious injuries last year, but he's amazed the doctors. When we eventually got him back after a few months in Aintree, the doctors here in Adelaide were just so stunned at how he's recovering. He actually got back on a bike about 4 or 5 weeks ago, the first time since the accident. So that was about a 10-month break, and it was like a duck to water. He did extremely well. Found it a bit hard to move around on the bike because of the injuries, but that was his goal on the day. We went out and had a good day at the track, and he worked out problems with the hips. So the next week, back to the physio. Here are the issues. What do we do? Let's get on with it. So he's a very determined young man.
Fantastic. Very Bridge, very good.
So there's Royce.
Yeah, Ferry Bridge. Oh, we all know the Ferry Bridge, don't we? So Les, what does it mean to you that Jim has organised this celebration, and how important has it been for the community?
It's just fantastic. It's a great effort, Jim. It's just such a tragedy. We couldn't have the Manx this year. Would have disappointed people from all around the world, a lot from Australia as well. So it's just tremendous to get this together so that we can have some sort of activity related to the Manx, and it's a really good effort.
Thank you. So, that's really kind, Les. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jim. No, terrific.
Thank you.
It's going to be one hell of a celebration next year, Les, isn't it? When everybody's able to get back on that amazing track that we have.
For sure. Let's hope for next year. But it's something that we look forward to every year. It's what you plan your whole year around. And it'll be the same for people all around the world, New Zealand, America, Asia, Europe. So be terrific to get back there. So I'm glad you're keeping the flag flying.
Yeah, super.
Yeah. Les, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you joining us in the studio, and hopefully we'll have you and maybe Royce back on one day. If you guys would accept that invitation, we'll have you back on the show talking racing.
That'd be fantastic, Hailey. Jim, thank you very much.
Thank you, Les. Thank you for staying up so late. Really appreciate it.
Easy, no problem.
Take care. And Lancelot, take care of yourself, okay? We'll look forward to seeing you back on the island next year racing.
I will.
Yeah, best of luck with the rest of the year. And thanks again for your time and joining us in the studio.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you. Jim, we're going to now invite our final guest. We've run over time a little bit. We're just going to, hopefully he's sorted out the issues with the Wi-Fi. So, there he is. He's on mute though. We bring him off mute.
Go on.
Fingers crossed.
Go on, Nigel.
We've had him off and on, off and on. Oh, what a shame.
Go on.
So, Jim, who is it that everybody is fundraising for? And I know.
Okay, that's a good question. Well, there's the motorbike charities, which that's the helicopter fund, like you said, and Wyn Evans is ACU Benevolent Fund. But I've also got a friend who does a lot of marshalling dance at Greba Bridge called Stephen Corlett, who's had a bit of an issue with a brain tumour, and he's away having an operation at the moment. He's just recovering from that right now. But he's very grateful to the support that Nassim's Manx Brain Tumour Support have given him. So, I'd like to make, and people have been exceptionally generous. I'd like to make a donation to the biking charities, but also to Nassim's Manx Brain Tumour Support.
And how much have you raised so far?
Well, we're just shy of £4,000. So, I'm hoping by the end of the week we can make it 5,000. That would be a nice sum. But like I say, people have been exceptionally generous already. So, thanks for the support. Thank you. I don't know. I'm hoping Majo can come back. I'd love to hear what he's got to say.
I know. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. We just need to give a shout out to Sweden. We've had quite a bit of support from Sweden, so we've got to give them a shout out.
Yeah, that's right. We had there they are. That's a group of people that come over to the Isle of Man every year, and they've obviously really missed it this year. And I had such a fantastic response from friends in Sweden, and they're going to go on a group ride around Stockholm, around about 60 of them all together. So that again, really great support. And I did ask them to join us tonight, but they just were a little bit unsure about, because they're a bit unsure about the translation from English to Swedish. So, but hopefully they're watching, and thanks for sharing the photograph of them there. That's
what a great shot, hey.
Yeah.
So, well, hopefully we might be able to get Majo on next week. Maybe we can invite him on at the end. So, oh, here he is. Fingers crossed. Majo, you just need to come off mute.
Nah, it's his microphone. Yeah, he's not coming. I don't think he's gonna make it.
Thank you, Aid.
No worries.
What a shame. What a shame. Your microphone mute.
You have to unmute your microphone on the screen. No. I think the Wi-Fi's bad. Anyway, no worries.
I can quickly try sending him a message.
Well, we can
have a go.
Friday, or we can bring him on next Friday.
Yeah, because I think his Wi-Fi's poor anyway, Jim. To be honest, so all right, I'll drop him out.
Thank you, Aid. Thank you. So, Jim, we are almost halfway through this celebration, right? So it finishes on the 4th.
Exactly. Yeah.
If anybody, is there still space for people to sign up if they want to be a part of it and want to join you on it?
Well, again, it's a silly idea, but we've got I've written it down here, 19,547 miles have been pledged. So if we can get another 5,354, that will take us around the world by people who love the Manx Grand Prix. So I'm hoping I can get another 142 laps. It doesn't have to be in the Isle of Man. It can be like Reese in Australia, or Majo in Italy, or Lancelot in France, or all our Swedish friends. Just drop a note to the Facebook page and just say, I want to do 37 miles for. I can add it to the total, and we can take it from there, and hopefully we can get to 24,901 miles. That's the plan. Yeah.
And they don't have to have a motorbike. It can be
like Helen on her e-bike, Nathan on his e-bike, like Steve Horn out in the Mediterranean on the treadmill. It doesn't matter, anything, as long as it's 37 miles.
Brilliant. So we, as we mentioned earlier, we are wanting to put a short film together for you to document this and celebrate it. So if you are involved, feel free to send us a pre-selfie or a little video just to say what you're about to do, where you are in the world. Also something during and maybe after. Just post how it felt to be a part of the celebration, etc. Send it to us at the Spirit of Motorsport TV, and we'll try our very best to include it in the short film. We want it to cover as much as we possibly can. Jim, thank you so much for bringing these guys together. We look forward to, so we're going to round this off on the 4th, right? So we're going to try and bring everybody together again on the 4th.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, great.
And those shiny trophies in the background. Do you think we can have them next week as well?
The guys just come to collect them. The guy from
It's time. Oops, going to get you into trouble. Brilliant. Love it. Thank you, Jim, so much. And we look forward to seeing you.
Thank you. Thank you, Aidan. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Take care. Thanks for all that you do.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Bye.
And here we are to finish off with Nathan's lap. Nathan Harrison in the 2019 Manx Grand Prix. Maybe not. Yeah. The suspense is killing me. Oh, well, we did see some of it earlier. We were going to finish off with some more of Nathan's incredible lap with 10.7 million plus viewers. But everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your questions. We'll be back on here with Jim and friends on the 4th of September, same time, 6 p.m. Friday the 4th, and we'll be covering what's happened over the 2 weeks. Everybody's celebrating together how much we've raised, how many miles that they've covered across the globe. So please do get involved if you haven't signed up already. It's for an incredible cause and become part of our Manx Grand Prix celebration family. Jim, thanks again. Take care, everybody. This is Spirit of Motorsport TV. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you.